friends. Welcome back to Freestyle Friday, where nothing is off limits and everything is fair game. This is a space to catch our breath, share a laugh, some life hacks, maybe even a recipe or two, and get a little encouragement. Oh, and I always spill a little tea on myself. Okay, so I put a post for comments, gave the email, and asked for some viewer interaction and input. I asked you guys to email me or leave me comments, and y'all delivered. And I'm so happy that I get to add them to today's episode. And I sincerely hope that you are all happy with my responses. Now, as I promised, I will keep everything anonymous unless directly told by you that I can share or what I can share. So first, I want to say thank you to those that sent me emails with the questions, topic suggestions, or even small glimpses into your lives and your stories. Thank you for trusting me and our community. And I want to say that if you ask one of these questions and you're listening now, you are not alone. You are not weak. And you are most definitely not failing. Alright, so I made you guys a promise for some tea. I gotta do that first, or I'll forget. So, I'm going to tell y'all all how I became divergent. So, divergent just means you don't conform, you're different, that kind of thing. Well, when I was 30, I got diagnosed with diabetes. My son was 5. So we explained it to him, in a 5-year-old way. So I knew he didn't understand fully the concept of what I was going through and what a type 1 diabetic meant or insulin and all those things. But he knew that I was different and I had to do things in a different way. It wasn't until I don't know how many weeks went by before I realized that he's telling everybody that his mom is divergent. I'm not diabetic. I'm divergent. So it kind of made my diagnosis and my disease almost feel like a superpower. So he doesn't call me divergent anymore. He's older and he has a very real understanding of what my disease is and what I have to do to take care of myself. But it still warms my heart to think that in his innocent little mind all those years ago, he didn't even realize that at that time he was giving me a boost in confidence by calling me divergent. So I also promised to let y'all know how it felt to look up to everybody around me, even my daughter. It sucks looking up to everybody around me, even my daughter. I'm almost 40 years old and I stand a whole 4 foot 9 inches, and I literally gotta look up to them all. And every time one of the nieces or the nephews pass me up, there ain't many left, I have to hear about it forever. And my mom, God bless her soul, is like full of love for all of her kids and the grandkids. And she has 2 walls. It's not a wall. It's like the trim, the board trim on 2 walls. And it started with just one with everybody's height and the year. And she, you do it on your birthday or it's close to your birthday. Well, last year, it was like this consensus of everybody who was at the house that day, because somebody was taller than me, that I needed to be measured. Mind you, I have not been measured in years, okay? They measured me. And oh my gosh, that little bitty black line on that board makes me want to tear down both of them boards and just make them disappear. Go burn them somewhere. Not really, because of their memories. But I'd like to sand my little line off of there. Don't nobody need to be reminded of that. And now everybody, they don't even just stand up against me anymore. They just go stand up to the line. I'm taller than her. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Just kidding. I love them all to pieces. But it ain't easy being vertically challenged. It's just not. And especially when they don't let you live it down. The other day, my daughter is going across to the neighbors to her Nana's house. And she's telling me bye. And she's like, she gives me a hug. And I'm like, you have fun, you know. And she goes, give me another hug. And she has this look on her face. I'm like, I don't trust you. What are you going to do? And she's like, just give me a hug. So I go to hug her and she's like, that is so cute. You come all the way up to my chin. I was like, girl, you better pack a bigger bag because you ain't coming home. And she was just laughing at me as she walked across the yard. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm like, girl, you better ask your Nana if you can move in with her. Talking that smack to me. She knows I love her. And I know she loves me. It's just all in good fun. But I used to be able to share clothes with her. Or her share clothes with me. But now she done outgrew me. Feet, clothes, pants, everything. So the only one I can share clothes with now is my 14-year-old son who, poor baby, he's 14, but he's like his mama. He's so short. We went to Walmart one day and this lady was like, do you want a sticker, sweetie? And he's like, no, ma'am. And she's like, oh, come on, everybody wants a sticker. And he's like, no, ma'am, I really don't. Thank you, though. And she's like, you're so sweet. How old is he, Mom? And I just looked at her and I'm like, 13. And she's like, oh, well, of course you don't want a sticker then. You're a big boy. My son's just looking at me like, get me out of here. I was like, babe, it's annoying now. Believe me, I know, been there, done that. But when you get older, it will be nicer. And that is a lie. Because I get mistaken for a kid all the time. And it's like, you don't see the gray on top of my head. I know you do. Because everybody in my family points out that it is there. I mean, it is bad noticeable now. I told my husband, I said, I didn't have this much until I married you. You did this. And then he's like, you know you can dye it. I'm like, is it that bad? Well, I tried to dye it. It didn't work. It didn't cover the grays. Now, that could be my fault because I'm cheap. And I bought box hair dye off the clearance aisle at the DG for $3.50. And it didn't work. So I refused to do it again and waste my money. So my husband's like, if you'd buy the $8 box, it'd probably cover them grays. Well, you don't have a lot of hair on top of your head, so you leave my grays alone. It's funny how them husbands like to say things, and they think they're helping, but really, you got to have like a husband decoder in your brain because they say stuff, and then you're just sitting there looking at them like, I know you don't mean what's coming out of your mouth, but I really don't think you understand how it's coming out. Because the words that are coming out of your mouth, them's fighting words. So I'm going to do my job as your wife, and I'm going to calm myself down, and I'm going to think logically and decode what you're saying so that I don't get mad at you and shave your eyebrows off while you sleep. I threatened that one time, and he was like, I don't care, do it. It's like, well, I ain't now because you don't care. I watch a lot of true crime, and he's like, one of these days I'm going to disappear. I'm like, no, I'll just shave your eyebrows off. Okay, so my brain is not working today. It's been a very long week. I spilt the tea. Alright, so I have questions that I printed out. But I kind of feel weird doing the questions because I don't want this to be like a one-sided, I'm just asking questions thing. Like, so my hope is in the future, I'll have a lot more viewer interaction. And I totally understand if you don't want to comment or anything like that. I get it. I was a lurker for a long time. I just liked listening. I didn't participate or anything like that. But I do hope one day that I have a bigger community and a lot more people will feel a little bit more comfortable about joining in the chat because this really is a safe place. Like, I promise you, we are not going to judge. And if we judge, I'll kick them. I got the power. I'll be like my son in his game. I don't understand all that, but he'll be like, they're talking ugly. Kick them. And they kick them out. I'll kick them out. I have the power. That's what I tell my youngest. Like, bro, you're giving me your power. And if you give me your power, I'm going to use it for bad. I ain't going to use it for good. So if you're misbehaving and you're giving me your power, then I'm going to use that power and I'm going to take a tablet or something like that. Do you really want to give me your power? And he's like, because you'll use it for bad. I'm like, that's right. It helps sometimes. And then sometimes I question my whole life thinking. I follow a few moms podcasts where they teach you how to deal with spirited children and teenage attitudes. Oh my gosh. They write books about terrible twos. We need a whole series on these teenage attitudes. I swear the day they hit the teen years, I got whiplash. Like, I don't even know. Like, I had two beautifully just would do anything, happy, go lucky kids. I have three, but the one ain't close to teenage yet. And then, boom, they hit teenager, and oh my gosh, we're moody. Our life is just the worst. The teenage attitude, I call it. I'm like, good Lord. Who peed in your Cheerios this morning? I didn't. But we need some books on teenage years. Because your girl over here is struggling. Like, bad. I told my almost 14-year-old earlier, I was like, bro, you are fueling my anxiety. And I feel like you're doing that on purpose. And he just giggled and he looks at me and he's like, it's fun, ain't it? I'm like, no, it's not. It's not fun. It might be fun for you, but now I'm spiraling. And I don't take enough medicine for you to be picking on me. See, my brain went blank. But anyway, I printed out these things. I just did like a random Google search. I was like 20 conversation starters, 20 conversation questions, just so if my mind went blank, I would have a subject. Google gave me some of the craziest things. It's like when sunlight hits a room on a cool winter morning. I'm like, how is that a conversation starter? So I'm not going to lie, your girl went to Chat GPT. I don't even know what that is. I got it, but I can't say it. Anyway, and I said, I need 20 conversation topics for podcasts to fill space. And I hit go. And then I copied and pasted it in my phone. So, your girl's getting technical over here. Not really. I am winging it and I'm faking it till I make it. But anyway, I got some conversation stuff, so if you hear it's either my coffee cup or my phone. But let's see. Maybe this will spark a new conversation. What is this song I cannot stop playing? It's not so much that I can't stop playing it, like out loud on the speaker or on my playlist or anything. It's like I can't stop playing it in my head. And it's the Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Because every time I sit down to record a episode or a podcast, I don't even know what to call this. But every time I sit down and I go to hit record, right about the time I go to hit record, I hear, let's go girls. in my head, and it's just like, and then I jam out to it all day long. I'll be dancing around in the kitchen, and they're like, "Are you listening to music?" In my head. You don't hear what's playing up here. I got a whole playlist. So, my chat friend, that's what I'm going to call it, because I don't know how to say it. I think it's Chat GPT. I think. I might be saying that wrong. Don't come at me if I am. My chat friend. The next one, it says random kitchen disasters. Well, I've already confessed about burning 5 pizzas. So, could that count as a kitchen disaster? I mean, obviously it does. We'll see if I got another. I know I got another one because I'm always doing something. Okay. So, one time, I bake. I started when I was a single mom. I couldn't afford to buy cake for my kiddo for his birthday, so I just taught myself how to bake them. Taught myself how to decorate them, how to doctor them up, all that stuff. Like, fancy on a budget. Semi-homemade. That is my motto. But anyway, I made a massive cookie cake for a reunion. And homemade icing, like the whole 9 yards, okay? And my mom's like, she likes to get fancy. Like, girl, yeah, if you're going to do it right. It's hard to make a regular cake now. Spent too long learning how to do all that stuff. But anyway, so I've got this thing on my cooling rack. And my husband and my daughter is in the kitchen. And I don't even remember what they were doing. Probably watching House, because that's what my husband does when we sit down and eat supper. If the kids get to eat wherever and it's just me and my husband in the kitchen, we watch House. So he was probably still going on an episode or something while I was doing whatever I was doing. But anyway, I go to flip it on my cake board so I can slide it in the box and decorate it in the box and then be done with it. And I dropped half of it on the floor. And I just go, like that. And my husband jumps up. He's like, what's wrong? Because I'm always burning myself. And he's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. My cookie's on the floor. So I just, like, half of it was still good. So the part that was still good, I just cut it and made it a nice, neat edge. And then I cut it in squares and decorated the squares. And I was like, it is what it is. Because let me tell you something. I had just mastered a Spanish rice recipe that was out of this world. I've never been able to do it again, but I did it that night, and it counts. So, we got highs, we got lows, because I mastered the rice, but then I dropped my cookie. So, I mean, there's that. Gotta look for the bright side. A funny thing my pet does. Okay. I have a hound dog. He's a big dog. He's a large breed dog. And we've had him since he was a itty bitty tiny puppy. Like, literally, I'll try to get together some pictures. But the picture from when he was little bitty and we just got him to the pictures now, it's like, what? We named him Duke. And when he was little, we all questioned my name choice for this dog because he just did not look like a Duke. Because he was so tiny and cute, and his ears were just bigger than he was. And he had all these wrinkles everywhere, and he was just so cute you could eat him up. And he was my baby. He'd lay on the couch with me, watch true crime. I mean, literally, you could turn on one of my YouTube videos, and that dog would just, he was glued. But then he got bigger, and he enjoyed going outside. He started in the house. He was supposed to be my house dog. Because I had it in my mind that I was going to train this bloodhound / coonhound, which they call a majestic hound, to be my diabetic alert dog. Because I swear he could tell when my blood sugar is high or low. Because he sniffs me like crazy. He always he puts his paw on me and stuff. It's almost like an alert dog already. So he was supposed to be a house dog. But he don't like it in the house. I mean, he does when he lays on the couch. But if he ain't tired and ready to sleep, he don't want to be in the house. He wants to be outside. So He's basically become an outside dog because he comes in every week for a night or two after I give him a bath. I let him hang out in the house with us for a day or two, and then I put him back outside. But I haven't given him a bath, and it's been 2 weeks. So he's very mad right now because he can't come in the house. Plus, I don't want to give up my spot on the couch, because I already gave up my spot on the porch. Anyway, the dog sleeps upside down and lopsided. He literally looks like he's laying there unalive. And I talk to this dog like I talk to my kids, and he legit talks back. Like, he don't say words. But if you talk to him, he'll be like, like right back at you. And I'm like, don't talk to me like that. You better talk to me nice, you know. But anyway, I'm telling him, I'm like, Duke, people are going to think you're a goner. Why can't you sleep normal? And he'll just open one eye and look at me like, don't talk to me. The dog is so weird. He has no common sense at all. He'll just fall off the couch, fall off the chair on the porch, just roll over and boom, hit the porch. He can't even walk down the steps because they've been in the same spot, but he just forgets where they are. Walk off the end of the porch. And then just look at you like you pushed him off. I'm like, I didn't do that, bro. That was you. He's weird. Weird dog. Spoiled, living to death, but he's weird. Okay. So, let's switch gears for a minute and do some viewer questions, comments, and shout outs. I danced that as I said that, so yeah, you can't see me, but I just danced. So, I want to say thank you to a new subscriber, but before I do that, I'm going to say that I know I have more than this one, but I cannot see who you are unless your subscriptions are made public. Then I can see who you are that subscribes to my channel. For right now, I can only see that I have 17, and this is one. But I also know this name because I've gotten comments from this viewer. The sweetest, most encouraging comments that just literally brighten my day and melt my heart. So today, we are going to give a shout out to Polly Patches. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank you for supporting my channel. And thank you for listening. And thank you for being so sweet and so kind. It's just so needed in this world. It really is. But I also have to give a shout out to my mom, my sister, and my cousin. I'm going to ask them if I can say their YouTube names so that I don't have to keep saying mom, sister, cousin, because that kind of sounds like impersonal. Is that the right way to say that? Like, not personal? Anyway, but they really do support me, like, a lot behind the scenes, and they can attest to how much, like, you guys will never know how much your support means to me, and they can attest to it, as well as my husband. I mean, this has truly brought so much joy to my life in ways that I honestly never expected. And I mean, the first subscriber was family, and well, the first 4 I think was family, and I was so excited. And then when I got the next one that wasn't family, I'm like, I got one that counts. And literally, like, that's where my expectations stopped. I didn't think it was going to be any bigger than that. And it's steadily growing, and my mind is blown. And if my mind is blown at 17 subscribers and 25,000 views, like, I am literally going to freak out if we make it to 100 for a face reveal. I will. But I will make good on my promise. If we get to 100 subscribers, boom, you're going to see me. Dancing, coffee, and all. Okay, so we're going to move on to some questions. The first thing I want to say is, please show grace. Grace and Grit is a safe space. Please do not attack or judge anyone for questions, stories, comment, inputs, anything. Please be nice. Please show grace. This is a safe space here. Okay, I'm going to start with the easy one first, and then I'll get to the heavy ones. Because I'm going to have to do a trigger warning before a couple of them, because yeah, they was kind of, I'm trying to find, I had to copy and paste some of them because I got the messages, so I wanted to make sure I did it right. Okay, so the first one, actually I had 2 or 3 that was basically the same thing, so I just kind of combined it in one. But they didn't really specify if it was okay if I said who, so I just kind of grouped them together. But it more or less like you've worked all day, kids are tired, you're tired, what do we make for dinner? So a quick thing for me is like tacos or taco wraps, because literally it's just, you brown some ground meat, you throw some taco seasoning in there, got soft tortillas, or Walmart has these tortilla pocket things now. Oh, my family loves them. You literally just shove whatever you want down in there. And we're a picky household, so only 2 of my kids like the supreme lettuce, tomato, sour cream. The rest of us is like just meat and cheese only. But it's like 20-30 minutes and boom, simple. Or like a simple spaghetti. Okay, so like last night I made, I didn't have spaghetti noodles. All I had was like the penne noodles. I can't even say that. All I had was those. So they were like, what's for supper? I was like, spaghetti, but with the different noodle. So my son keeps calling it pasta. But I just browned my ground meat, and then I added, my people are picky, so I used the dehydrated minced onions. I threw that in there, some Italian seasoning, some minced garlic in with my meat, browned it up, and then I added traditional spaghetti sauce out of the can. I like the cans. I don't know why. But I also use the can, so when I drain my grease, I put my grease in my can. It don't go down my sink. But that's a good way to do it, because then it gets like hard and you can chuck it in the trash. That's a life hack. What? Okay. So anyway, and then put my sauce in my meat, mix it together, and then I add some Italian seasoning. And then cook your noodles, mix it all together in one pot. And like, I didn't have any frozen garlic bread, so I just, like my loaf of bread, I just took a bunch of slices out, sprayed my pan, put my toast on there, and then I melted some butter with some minced garlic, Italian seasoning. You could also use garlic powder instead of minced garlic, because it wasn't very garlicky using the minced garlic, so I would probably use garlic powder in your melted butter with Italian seasoning. But I just spread it over the bread, and I stuck it in the oven and let it toast it. About halfway through, I flipped it, so about 10 or 15 minutes. I cooked it on 375 because I was trying to hurry. But you got to watch it when you cook it on 375, because mine got toasty. All my people loved it, but it was toasty. Makes really good croutons, like homemade croutons. So like if you have any left, you just cut it all up in itty bitty pieces, and it is awesome croutons for a salad. Wow, I'm hungry again. But yeah, so I just like did simple pasta. And then I even do I've been known to get some frozen chicken strips, some frozen french fries. My kids like the shoestring french fries, like the old Sonic fries before they went to the groovy ones. But I do those with chicken strips, and then I make white gravy, and then I'll take like bread, butter both sides, and then do it on like my pancake griddle and toast it, and then make chicken strip baskets. And they're like, your chicken strip baskets are the best. I'm like, that is Tyson chicken nuggets. And this video is not sponsored. But Tyson, hey, hit me up, because your girl loves your chicken nuggets. Okay. Trigger warning. These topics may bring up something that you may have possibly stuffed down wherever it would fit. And some of these might bring up something that you thought you were past and maybe you're not. Just trigger warning. They made me emotional, so I got to stick that out there. I got to get a drink of coffee before I read this email. Okay, so the first one comes from a foster mom with 4 kiddos under the age of 8. I'm going to share some of her email, not all of it, but with her permission, because I don't think I could do a good job at summarizing what she wrote. And frankly, her voice matters too. So I wanted to give her the spotlight, but also respect her privacy at the same time. Okay, so this is her email, and I'm going to read it, so bear with me. All right. Adopted mom of 4 and current foster mom to 3 here. Many don't know the real issues that foster parents struggle with. They see a made-for-TV movie and believe the end is all rainbows and unicorns. Real life, on the other hand, is a struggle. Lots of times, my children come from hard places and difficult backgrounds. I say all of this for people to realize where my topic idea comes from. I currently have 4 under the age of 8. I struggle with getting simple things done, such as brushing one's teeth while getting other children. Hang on, I told you I was going to read it. Okay, I struggle getting simple things done, such as brushing one's teeth. While other children can do this task at the age of 8, most foster children were never taught. So for me, I struggle with getting 4 children's teeth brushed, 4 children bathed, dressed, and ready for bed. Because the simple fact is, basic skills we all take for granted have to be taught to that 8, 7, 5, and 4-year-old. We struggle with this because they can't be left to do it alone, or they will literally eat a whole tube of toothpaste. They can't bathe themselves because they're not coordinated enough to hold a rag and squirt soap at the same time. Or for the ADHD kid, will plug the sink and flood the bathroom. True story. And the list goes on. What we see is simple tasks and everyday struggles in our home. What we see as simple tasks are everyday struggles in our home. Just because they got adopted does not change the fact that they are developmentally behind most children their age. My idea for a podcast topic would be mom tips. Tips for the mom struggling to keep her kid from flooding the bathroom or eating the toothpaste, etc. Moms helping moms. What works for me may not work for you, but any and all advice is welcome. So, first I want to apologize for tripping up there reading your email, but it's my eyes, not your writing. I'm old. I'm classic. I'm an antique. But I also want to say this. If it feels harder than you expected, well, that's because it is. You're not imagining it, and you're not weak, you're not failing, and you're not missing something. You stepped into a parenting role with layers most parents never have to hold. You deal with loss, grief, trauma, attachment wounds, and so much more. Hard doesn't mean wrong. It means meaningful. Some foster kids can't say thank you. Some are going to push you away right when everything feels good. Some are going to test the boundaries when they feel the safest. That's not rejection. That's just a kid asking, are you still going to be here if I mess up? And every time you stay, you answer that question. You're planting seeds that sometimes you're not going to get to see them grow. You may not get to see that long-term healing. You may not be the one they remember the most. And you may never get closure. But consistency, that leaves marks. Even if the goodbye comes first. You can love foster care and mourn at the same time. You can mourn the ease that you had hoped it would be. You can mourn the bonding that you had imagined. The milestones that look different for each kid. That grief, that doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you're human. Some days you keep everyone safe. You prevented a meltdown, you stayed calm, and nothing else happened. That day still matters. Healing work doesn't show up on a to-do list, but it is exhausting for a reason. And you're allowed to need support too. Foster moms are often told, you're so strong, you're amazing. But it's always with like a touch of something attached to it. It doesn't feel like positivity. And I think the worst one you could ever tell a foster mom is, you signed up for this. Okay. But strength doesn't cancel out exhaustion. Needing help does not disqualify you from this work. It sustains you in it. You don't have to be a biological parent to matter. You're not competing, and you are not just a placeholder. You are a safe adult in a child's story, and that matters most than most titles. The small things, they are big things. A bedtime routine, a calm voice, a warm meal. These things are not basic. They are repair. You're not behind. You're rebuilding. The only mom tips I can offer you today are very limited, but I still hope that they can help, or at least encourage. For kids with trauma, basic care needs can feel threatening because many of them learned survival before they learned anything else. Most of them relate care stuff with fear, neglect, control, and they have a nervous system that is like constantly on high alert. It's literally screaming code red at them all the time. A child's brain can't learn when it's dysregulated. Sometimes the win is simply, we tried. Try again tomorrow. It's not giving up. It's regulation. It's okay to break tasks way down. Like way down. And it's alright to do it with them. You don't have to expect independence right away. And it's okay if progress looks like it's better than last week. And when you mix trauma with ADHD, short attention spans, poor sequencing, easily overwhelmed, and some major sensory sensitivities, stuff that you wouldn't even think of. Structure. predictable routines, visual cues, repetition. You are helping little humans learn skills that they didn't get a chance to learn earlier. That takes more patience than most people will ever see. Brushing your teeth, break it into small steps. Use a timer or a song. The happy birthday song. You start, I'll finish. Focus on the time and not the perfection. Bathing. Maybe like today we do our belly and our arms. Tomorrow we do our legs and our feet. I would probably keep hair to mom helping. I guess that depends on your kiddos. You know. But independence comes in layers. And confidence, it grows with that support. I mean, we know that. And one day they're not going to need your help. And you're going to be able to be like, you're going to have a proud moment that's so big. Just remember to show yourself grace. You've earned it. All right, the next question comes from a mom with grown kids who is still parenting in one way or another. She asked if there was any advice, but even just feeling seen would help her. So I want you to hear this. Just because your kids are grown doesn't mean that weight disappeared. It just changed shapes. You're still carrying the worry. You're still giving advice, whether they take it or not. That's on them. You're still showing up emotionally, physically, financially. And all that can be exhausting. And nobody really talks about that. Not in the right way, anyway. But there's a grief in there sometimes. Well, most times. The grief of realizing that you can't fix everything anymore. Like you're not going to be able to give the hugs and kisses and make it all better. And then there's the pride mixed with the fear. And both of those can exist at the same time. If you're in this season, you're not overstepping by caring. And you're not failing if you need boundaries. Rest, that's not abandonment. You are allowed to be a mom and a woman who has needs. This last one's pretty heavy. It came from a mom who's struggling to find joy after conviction and time served. First, I'm really glad you're here. The fact that you even have this question tells me a lot. Tells me you're trying to rebuild something beautiful. There's a unique kind of shame that follows people after they've paid their debt. And it whispers that joy just simply isn't allowed anymore. That you should stay small, quiet, and be grateful to even exist. But serving time, that doesn't erase your humanity. It doesn't disqualify you from healing or grace or love. And it doesn't mean that joy has to be earned through punishment. Joy might feel unfamiliar right now. And that's okay. Because sometimes joy comes back quietly. Sometimes it comes through peace instead of happiness. But you're allowed to build a life that feels good again. And you're allowed to be more than your worst chapter. And if joy feels far away, start with safety. Safety leads to peace. And peace, that's the doorway back to joy. If any of these questions felt close to home, I hope you heard something to help today. Something that maybe made you feel less alone. You're doing more than you think you are. And for those of you that shared, thank you for trusting me, for trusting all of us with these glimpses of your lives and your stories. Those were some heavy questions. And I want to take a second to honor each of these moms and the seasons that they are in. And if any of these stories has brought up something in you, allow yourself to take this opportunity to just take a breath and let the heaviness fall. And know that we are seen and we are enough. Remember, it's okay to smile again, to laugh again. Life rarely gives us one emotion at a time, and we don't have to apologize for feeling it all today. I saved this question for last, and I'm not going to lie. I seen it, and I already knew my answer. But it says, what is something that made you smile recently, even if only for a second? Before I give my answer, I want you to take a minute to think of yours. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to comment it. I only want you to acknowledge it for yourself. If you decide you want to share it, then that's your choice. But my answer would be getting the comments and messages from you guys this week. Between the emails, the comments, and just any of the messages I got. And the subscribers. I don't take those things lightly. This space is so special, and I'm very grateful for it. And honestly, the emails, the messages, and the comments, they're a big part of why I feel good about sharing what's coming next. So I'm going to take a few minutes to let you know what's coming up and what's happening around here. Nothing overwhelming, just some structured things that's been growing naturally and fast. You might have noticed the line popping up here and there in this video, and you'll notice me moving forward. That's chaos. Chaos the line. Chaos the line came from my desire to find something that really represented grace and grit. I thought it deserved something meaningful to carry with it. Like if you seen it, you knew what it was. I chose a line because they're fierce when they need to be, and they're calm when it matters the most. And I named him Chaos to remind us that chaos may follow us wherever we go. But it's not a sentence that we have to carry. We can acknowledge it, we can embrace it, and we can still find laughter in life and everything it grows in us. That's why chaos is here, to remind us to stay gritty, to stay honest with ourselves, to show up just as we are, to remember to give grace with the grit, to know we are in this together. No shame, no guilt, no judgment, just grace. Along with Chaos's debut, I've also put together a new weekly lineup. Hopefully it'll help us all feel supported and not overwhelmed. Okay, so everything's going to premiere at 10 a.m. But on Mondays, we're going to have Mom Genius Mondays, practical mom tips and life hacks inspired by one of the viewer questions from today. Tuesday, we're going to have Tuesday teasers, just a quick check-in with some previews of what's to come. Wednesday, Grace and Grit, finding laughter in the chaos of life. That's our regular weekly episode. It's going to stay the same. Thursdays, we're going to have Throw It Together Thursdays. Some quick meal ideas, recipes, nothing too fancy. On Friday, no worries. Freestyle Friday is here to stay. Sundays will always be Pause and Grace. It's a faith-based encouragement with scriptures, lessons, and stories that I've learned on my journey, and just a chance to pause in the Word and get some encouragement and fill our tanks for the week to come. All episodes will be premiered at 10 a.m. And we can update those times or wiggle them around later. But for now, I think those times seem to work best for us. I got a few messages asking me how they could support my channel. First, I want you to know that you being here, that's already enough. That is already outstanding. And it truly means the world to me. But the fastest and easiest way to support my channel, and the one that matters the most, is seriously to like, share, and subscribe. It tells YouTube, hey, people like this. It just boosts the community. But if you ever want to support my channel in a different way, or just buy me a coffee, I've pinned the links below. And you can also find them on the channel page. And then you'll also find links to Facebook, Instagram, and as well as the merch store. Check out the merch store, because now that we got Chaos, we're going to have some new merch. Patreon is also listed there. Okay, so if you're a member of Patreon, whether you're a free member or a paid member, and you just do that by going to Patreon and creating an account. Whether you're paid or free, you're going to start receiving extras this month. And I'm going to be sharing things that are helpful to me, like journaling pages, meal planning templates, calendars, recipe lists, and more, like maybe wallpaper things. I don't know. I'm still putting a whole packet together. But anyway, so you'll see that at the end of this month, and then you'll get it monthly. Again, that's all members, paid and free, on Patreon. So you may want to check out that link if you're interested in that. But I cannot say this enough. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your kindness and for making this space what it is. And we are going to keep figuring this out together, y'all. We are going to do it. So remember, stay gritty, gritters. I'll see you next time.